Good morning, fourth graders. Today is Thursday, March 26th. Our topic for this morning is the distributive property. It's one of the strategies that we use to solve bigger multiplication problems. Today we're going to use it to solve just 2-digit by 1-digit multiplication. Your fourth grader might remember this as the box method. So I'm going to show you that really quick. If you would like to follow along or know what worksheet this best goes with, it is this one here. It's called the distributive property. It should have been in your week 1 learning opportunities packet. The page number is 239. So if you wanted to have that in front of you, you could. So I'm going to share my screen with you now so you will not see my face. And you'll see my whiteboard, and we're going to solve one of those questions using the distributive property. And I'm going to show it to you as a box method and as just a multiplication problem using parentheses. So you'll see those two ways right now. So pulling up my whiteboard to share with you. You should now see my whiteboard. And the question that we're going to work to solve right now is 25 times 3. Okay, and this might be one that you already know, which is fine, but the purpose of this worksheet and using the distributive property is to show your understanding of the distributive property. So with all of these questions that are on this worksheet, you need to be using the distributive property and not just multiplying the numbers the way that they are. So if you're looking at your worksheet, the front page, page 239, has 3 questions across the front. The directions for that say use the distributive property to multiply, draw an area model. So I'm going to show you both of those ways. The distributive property using just the numbers, and then the area model. The back side, you'll notice questions 4 through 9 just say use the distributive property. So you do not need to use an area model for those 6 questions, but if you like to see it that way, you absolutely can. So again, we're going to start solving 25 times 3. The first step in solving this question is to decompose 25 into its expanded form. So that means the value of its tens place and the value of its ones place. And so you should realize and know as a fourth grader that 25 in its expanded form is 20 plus 5. So I'm going to decompose that 25 and show the 20. And then this 20 here, I'm still multiplying by 3. So I'm going to show 20 times 3. And put that in parentheses. And then I'm going to add that to the value of the ones place, so this 5 here, times 3. So again, I'm going to draw my parentheses, and I'm going to do the 5 from the ones place in 25 times this 3. Okay, so this is what I would expect to see on questions 4 through 9. If I was just asking you to show me the distributive property, not using an area model. So that would be this math here, and of course the answer. So it should look like this, and then you're going to do 20 times 3, which you know is 60. And you're going to add that to 5 times 3, which is 15. And if you add both of those products together, you should get 75. Okay, so this is the math, again, that I would expect to see on questions 4 through 9. I would also like to see it on questions 1, 2, and 3. But in addition to the math, you're also going to need an area model. So I'm going to show you the area model for this question now. So the first step in drawing your area model is to draw a box. So here's my box here. And this is just a visual representation of the same question. So on the side here, I'm going to show that this is 3. Oops. I'm going to show that the length of this shape is 3. we think of this kind of like finding the area, right? That's why we call it an area model, multiplying the length times the width. So here I have my 3, and then to show 25, instead of writing 25 across the top here, I'm going to decompose it ahead of time, draw my line through the middle here, not the middle, but draw it through the shape. This side is going to be 20 because that's my tens place, and this side is going to be 5. Okay, and I drew this line through this shape all the way over here because I know that 20 is a much bigger number than 5, which is why this box is so much bigger than this one. Okay, so if you remember back in 3rd grade when we were talking about area, I showed you this formula. Area is the A equals length, this cursive L, times width. And so we're finding the area of each of these 2 shapes here, and then we're going to add them together to find the answer. So this first shape here, the area, if I was going to multiply the length times the width, I would be multiplying 20 times 3. And as you know from above, 20 times 3 is 60. So the area of just this shape here is 60. To find the area of this smaller rectangle, I'm going to do 5 times 3, and that's 15. Now to find the total area of this shape, the total amount of space that is contained in this shape, I'm going to have to add my 2 products together, my 2 areas of each of these shapes, and combine them to get the overall shapes area. So 60 plus 15 is 75. Okay, so again, this part up here that I'm putting a box around now, a kind of box, this is just the math part. This is the part that you can show me on this entire worksheet, and then this area model here is just the visual representation, and if the directions ask you to use an area model to show your work, this is what you're going to do. So I hope that that little reminder lesson helped you, and if you have any other questions, you know where to find me. So I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for popping in.